Once again, very good morning, all. Thanks being joining this session. Okay, so as part of today, we are going to start the cloud computing, Azure cloud computing. So, what is cloud computing? Okay, so what are the services are available? What are the deployments are available? Okay, so before cloud computing, what exactly we are doing after cloud computing, what exactly we are doing. So next a couple of sessions will be completely over the Azure services. Okay, so a couple of services we are going to discuss a lot. Okay, so what is how many types of deployments are available, how many types of service models are available. So that's what we are going to discuss. Okay, in next 2 days. Later we can start with the services level. So first let me complete, so 2 days, a complete concept wise, okay, theoretical, to intro about Azure and services and deployment models and what is cloud cloud computing. So why industry is looking for cloud computing, that's what are the uh, evaluation done by throughout our so IT career. So where we started, now where we are standing. So that's what we are going to discuss today and tomorrow. Then we'll start with the each services, whatever the Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud or Alibaba Cloud or AWS, what are the services they are been supporting. So that's what we are going to see. Almost all the cloud providers are similar, okay, but only their dashboards will be different. Okay, when you for example, when you go for e-commerce applications like Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeals, right? So what are the major changes you notice when you go go to the Amazon, when you go to the Flipkart, or when you go to the Snapdeal? What are the major changes you noticed? Or when you go to the internet providers, go to
Dashboard.
the yeah, so
Dashboard.
dashboards, the offers, the products. Okay, so it entirely different, right? Yes or no? Whatever the products, some products, whatever the products in Amazon, those products is not available in Flipkart. Whatever the products are in the Flipkart, couple of products, okay, is not available in AWS, sorry, Amazon. Okay, so right, so like same here also. So a cloud is nothing but very simple definition, sir. A cloud is nothing but someone else data center you are placing your data. Apart from, there is no difference. Don't make this as a okay cloud means something different. Nothing, sir. Okay, so assume you are having certain amount. Okay, what you are having 1 crore amount, okay, or 1 lakh amount. Okay, that 1 lakh amount, if you are keeping in your premises, on premises means in your home, you are keeping in your locker. If you are keeping that one locker, on that locker you are placing that 1 lakh amount, is nothing but on premises. Within our premises, we are going to keep our data and we are going to secure everything. So now what is happening cloud, so we are keeping someone else data center. Okay, our data, our databases, our services, our applications are running in someone else data center. Apart from, there is no difference, sir. Whatever you are working, okay, till now, is absolutely same. Okay, there may be a couple of changes, enhancement, improvements, okay, are available when you go for cloud. Okay, that we are going to discuss. But almost, if you are strong at on premises SQL server, you are almost strong at cloud as well. Okay, hope you understood. And that is what I wanted to say in the day one. So nothing, sir. Don't make this as a okay cloud means something else. Nothing. Someone else data center you are going to place your data. You are going to deploy your databases, you are going to deploy your applications, you are going to deploy your tools. Hope you understand, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we have different cloud providers. When you go for e-commerce application, we have different e-commerce applications. When you go for internet providers, we have different types of internet providers are available. When you go for telecom providers, we have different types of telecom providers are available. Depends on your region, depends on your country. So the providers will be different, the providers will be changed. Okay, but when you go for cloud, okay, so these are cloud platforms available throughout the global. We have many, sir. Okay, so top we are going to discuss Amazon, AWS, Amazon. Okay, so web services is one of the top leading cloud provider. Then we can go for Microsoft. Okay, Azure is one of the leading cloud provider. Google Cloud, GCP, IBM, Bluemix. Okay, Alibaba Cloud. So we have a lot many cloud providers are available throughout the global. Okay, as your wish, either you can your application, where your application is deployed, where your services are running. So whenever you got selected for one project, and your project is completely over AWS, you need to support AWS. If your product is completely on Azure, you need to support Azure. If your product is available in Google Cloud, then you need to support in Google Cloud. So almost, again I'm telling, right, almost all are the similar. Okay, so that's what throughout our sessions we are going to compare each services. So what are the difference you will notice. Okay, then make a note, sir, mm, that is fine for you. Okay, the dashboards will be different, but the concept is same. Okay, we have different cloud providers throughout the global. Okay, don't assume that okay I'm having only Microsoft or AWS. We have a lot. Okay, out of this, okay, so where we are going to, mostly you are getting chance to work with Microsoft Azure or AWS or GCP or Alibaba Cloud or some other cloud providers, like public cloud providers or private cloud providers. Okay, are available. Okay, where nearest locations where they are going to tie up, and they are going to deploy their databases services in that cloud. Okay, hope you understand, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, so before we go and discuss directly on the cloud computing, okay, let me discuss the traditional computing model, nothing but on premises. Okay, nothing but on premises. Like 2 to 3 years back, okay, completely, like 5 years back, completely we are in on premises, because so we cannot trust someone to keep our sensitive data. If like a banking, like a take insurance, okay, these are all sensitive data, right? So we cannot trust someone, and we cannot keep our sensitive data in someone else data center, right? Because mostly you are getting afraid for the security. But every cloud provider, they are telling, okay, we are going to secure your data double, a triple than you are securing on premises. But still couple of like domains, they are afraid to move to the cloud provider, so cloud computing, because one is sensitive data, that's sensitive data. So when you go to the traditional computing model, nothing but on premises, sir. Technically we need to call it as a on premises. So so when you go to the on premises, so whatever we are activities we are displayed here, infrastructure building, hardware resource gathering, software purchase, software integration, okay, recruiting different teams, security consideration, consuming, okay, scalability enhancement, implementation challenges. See, all these are under our control. You need to maintain, means we need to taken care all these activities. So you need to first purchase your buildings, infrastructure, sir, complete your infrastructure. So where you are going to host your servers, where you are going to host your applications, first you need to purchase the complete infrastructure building. Then you need to purchase the hardware and software you need to gather, and hardware you need to gather. Then software integration, you need to integrate like Java, Oracle apps, or like l- like third party, like WebSphere is the mediator to integrate the two different technologies. Okay, that is how software integration, and you need to recruit different teams. Like if you have the Windows servers, okay, if you are using Java, you are using .NET, you are using SQL, you are using Oracle, so you need to recruit the different teams to secure our application, to secure our data, okay, to maintain our data, to support our data. So you need to recruit different teams, like a Java team, Oracle team, SAP team, .NET team, okay, so ethical hacking team, okay. So you need to recruit different teams, and also you need to protect complete protect like a firewalls. So that is also under our control. And is and when you go for on premises, everything is a time consuming, sir. If you want to build a operating system, it may take a couple of days. But when you go for cloud computing, on fly you can create the servers, on fly you can increase the disk capacity, on fly you can increase the your hardware and your resources. But when you go for traditional, okay, it need to be get approved, it need to be purchased, it need to be again fit into the server. It may take some time when you compare with the cloud computing. Okay, time consume and scalability is very advanced level when you go for on cloud computing. So assume you have Flipkart sale, assume you have Amazon scale. So tomorrow we are going to in India, tomorrow there is a Flipkart and Amazon sales, right? So definitely the traffic will be huge, the connectivity will be used. So definitely they need to increase the servers capacity, right? Agree, everyone?
Yes.
Yes. So assume how
Yes,
many
sir.
days the sales will be available. How many days the sales will? 5 days. Okay, 3 days, maximum 5 days or 3 days. The sales period will be available. So assume currently you are having 1,000 servers. You are maintaining on regular way. You are maintaining 1,000 servers. On sales time, you purchase 1,000 more servers. Now total 2,000 servers are you are maintaining. Okay, on the sales time. After sales is got completed, so where again my traffic will be low, again my connectivity will be drastically decreased. Where you can keep that 1,000 servers? Getting my point? Assume you purchase 1,000 servers again only for the sales time, your sales got completed. Where you can keep that hardware and software after? Again my connectivity will be low, again my traffic will be low. So for me again thousand servers is sufficient for to maintain my Amazon or to maintain my Flipkart. But for sales only you purchase 1,000 more servers. So where you can keep again that 1,000 more servers, right? Yes or no? In cloud computing, that is very enhanced user. Whenever you are keep on increasing the traffic, automatically the servers will be created. Whenever traffic is low, automatically the servers will be, okay, so removed from the auto scaling. Okay, scale out, scale in, scale out. So whenever the traffic is used, automatically the servers will be built. So whenever the traffic is low, automatically the server will be drastically reducing, the count will be reduced, sir. That is how the cloud providers are providing the scalability. When you compare with on premises, scalability is very simplest way, sir, in cloud computing nowadays. That is why most of the people are preferring for the cloud. So whenever, so we are frequently having the sales time. So on the sales time, definitely there will be traffic is very huge. And implementation challenges to implement, okay, anything, so it is very challenging, sir, in on premises. That may take longer time. Okay, it's clear. If you wanted to build a new SQL server, so first you need to create the change request. That change need to be approved from application team. Once the change is approved, that need to be taken care by your Windows team. Once Windows team will build the servers. If they are telling we don't have any servers, additional servers, we don't have storage, then again they need to purchase, right? So that is how the implementation challenges you can see in on premises.
Mm.
Getting everyone?
Yes.
Any questions? till now, till still we are on premises, or almost like in 5 years back. Okay, 80% are on premises, 20% are cloud. Now 60% are on premises, 40% are in cloud. Draftly, the cloud is enhancing lot. Okay, so we are keep on moving all our servers and application to the cloud because cost cutting. One is the cost cutting, sir, because to maintain the infrastructure is not a easy. To maintain the data center is not a easy, sir, in traditional, in on premises. Okay, hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, so before cloud computing, okay, before cloud computing, assume you wanted to host a website. What are the major components you required? What are the major things we need to take in care whenever, if you decide to host on a website? What are the major things? Anyone?
I hope we need to purchase a domain, then we need to host.
Okay. Yes. Maybe we need to purchase the stack of servers. Yes. You need to purchase the stack of servers, right? First, before you wanted to host a website, so you need to purchase a stack of servers. Next, you need to monitor the servers. You need to maintain the servers. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
1 second, guys. Okay. So you need to monitor the server. You need to maintain the servers. Next is high traffic. Whenever there is a high traffic on your website, then you need to purchase the more servers. Right, right. So when you take any application, now see, for example, how many servers Google is maintaining? How many servers YouTube is maintaining? Netflix is maintaining? Amazon Prime is maintaining? Getting? Online people, sir, everything is a front end. So whatever you are seeing is a front end, but definitely there will be back end for every application. Every application there will be back end. See, whenever you are trying to log in your Facebook or or Amazon, sorry, so you need to provide your credentials, right? Username and passwords. So where it is storing your username and passwords, and whatever the orders you are placing. Okay, you are placing the order of a product, you are updating the order, you are tracking the order, you are so canceling the order. So how your data is retrieving? Getting? Online people. So somewhere, every front end there will be back end. Every front end there will be back end, sir. A back end is nothing but either they can maintain Oracle, either they can maintain SQL, either they can maintain MySQL or PostgreSQL or DB2 or Amazon Aurora or MongoDB and so on. Will you agree or not?
Yeah. Right.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Every application there will be backend. So complete your applications will be designed with Java, .NET, okay, uh, and WordPress. WordPress is also no PHP, WordPress. So they are going to design with this so technologies. Okay, so complete front end. So back end. So we are going to use a different database management system throughout the global. We have around 350 plus database management systems, but we know only 5 to 10 database management systems, which is mostly used throughout the global. Oracle, SQL, PostgreSQL, MySQL, Amazon Aurora, MongoDB, Cosmos DB, okay, Azure Synapse, Azure Data Warehouse, uh, a DB to Sybase. Okay, Sybase. So we can remember at least 10 to 15 database management systems, but throughout the global, there are around 350 database management systems are available. Okay, like we have different technologies, sir. Even we don't know what technologies they are going to use in when you go for different countries. Okay, so mostly used technologies we know almost, but there are a lot. Okay, hope you understand. So every front end there will be back end. Okay, now, okay, sir. So the innovation starts with the data centers, means a complete where you are going to maintain your data. So where your HSBC bank data is maintaining. Okay, so where your Citibank data is maintaining. So who are in India, where your SBI bank is data is maintaining. So somewhere in the data centers. So this is how your data centers look like. A couple of data centers will be very good. On top of the image, you can see, right, a data centers where is arranged properly. But when you go to the bottom images, earlier days, like a 15 years back, okay, this is how your data centers are maintained. Very ugly data centers, very difficult. Something, assume your application team is telling, hey, something happened to my application, I am not able to connect to the server, or my server is shut down. Okay, if you, most of the time we never get a chance to go into the data center. But every campus, so whatever the campus you are being there, every campus you can go to the each floor, at least there will be, they are maintaining one data center. Anyone observed who are already working? Anyone online people?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so when you get a chance to go inside, so this is how your data centers look like, everyone. Okay, so technically you need to call it as a each rack, sir. Technically we will call it as a rack. A rack will maintain common network, common power supply, okay, common storage. One rack will maintain multiple servers, that each rack will maintain common switches, common network, common power supply. Okay, so every rack is having their own power, their own switches, their own network. Okay, so somewhere your data is also in the data center. So that is the first innovation where industry came at. Okay, so we are going to maintain our data in any location. Okay, so this is how, see, everyone able to see. So the AC is in the bottom of the data center, not in the top level. Everyone observed, online people? Always it will be minus, sir, because servers is running continuously, right? Whenever you are trying to open Google, whenever you are trying to open YouTube, okay, so 24 by 7, 365 days you are able to open Google, right? But recently, 3 to 4 months back, a 5 minutes outage is there for Google and YouTube. Anyone know?
Yes.
Recently, yes. Okay,
Okay.
so something happened, sir. Maybe data center is down, or maybe servers are down, maybe network is down, or something. Okay, there may be vast outage. Okay, so we need to maintain, we need to protect our data and databases and data centers. Okay, so this is how the data is maintaining in the data centers. Either it can be on premises, either it can be cloud. When you go for cloud, or AWS, or Google Cloud, or Alibaba Cloud, or GCP, okay, this is how your data center looks like. Hope you understand, sir. So this is the first innovation where complete industry came up to maintain our applications, to maintain our data, to maintain our servers, everything, sir. The next innovation is, before going to that, okay, here a couple of challenges. M- Maintain the data centers. So you need to maintain the power management, you need to maintain the capacity planning, you need to maintain the storage management, you need to maintain the performance, you need to monitor the servers. So all these are the couple of challenges we are we are facing, or you need to maintain in on premises: power management, capacity management, storage management, network management, performance. Okay, and also you need to maintain the reports, you need to maintain the backups, everything you need to take and care. That is under completely our control when you go for on premises. When you go for on premises, everything you need to take and care. Hope you understand. Yes, everyone's so silent.
Yes, sir.
Getting, not getting.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Getting, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
we got
Yes,
you.
sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
yes, now the next innovation, sir. Okay, so once you are having the data centers, you are maintaining the servers. Okay, now if something happened to my server, something happened to my application, so complete there will be outage, right? So then they started with the high availability. They started with the high availability. So high availability means one applications you are maintaining in the different servers. One application you are maintaining in the different servers. So assume if server 1 is down, no worries, I can bring server 2 online. If server 2 is down, so I can bring server 3 online. If something entire happen, entire 3 services down, entire your application will down, sir, again. But high availability is nothing but within the same data center. Make a note, everyone. Okay, high availability is nothing but within the same data center. You are going to maintain multiple servers within the same data center. You are going to maintain the multiple server. That is why we are calling high availability, which will supports automatic failover. Which will supports automatic failover. Here also you need to maintain the power, network, storage, backups, reports, everything again. We need to maintain, sir. We need to take and care everything. Okay, clear. Now they started thinking, okay, I am maintaining the data centers, I am maintaining the high availability. If something happened to my data center, if something happened to server, okay, no worries, I have one more server. If something happened to this server, also no worries, I have one more server. If something happened to the data center, entire data center is something happened now. So they came up with the concept called disaster recovery. Entire your data center is trashed or corrupted or something happened, no worries, I am going to maintain one more data center in different location. So you know about in India, right? Recently we have the Chennai floods, we have Kerala floods, right? So what they done, so whenever there is a floods in Chennai, so every who are working in the IT, they travel to the different states to support the projects. Agree or not? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So if something happened to data centers, sir, no worries. I have one more data center. That can be natural, that can be human-made mistake. Okay, no worries. I have one more data center. That technically you need to call it as a disaster recovery. So mostly if something happened to DC level, so no worries. I have the DR site, DC site, DR site. Okay. So DR site, disaster recovery site. If something happened, no worries. I have the my database, my application is running in the DR site as well. I can recover that one so that my application will start in a shortly. So data center designs, okay, includes the routers, switches, firewalls, storage system, servers, and application delivery controls. Okay, disaster recovery is a well through process to purchase the powerful computers and make them then work as a single computer resources at a different location. Make a note, sir. So assume you are keeping one data center in Houston, you are keeping one data center in Dallas, you are keeping one data center in Budapest, you are keeping one data center in US, in India. Okay, so you are keeping one data center in Hyderabad, you are keeping one data center in Bangalore. If something happened in Hyderabad, no worries, I have the data center in the Bangalore. If something happened in Bangalore, no worries, I have the data center in the Hyderabad. Got you? The primary data center will be nearest to user, and the DR site can be somewhat, they will maintain some distance. Okay, so primary data center will be nearest to the our applications, and DR site will be somewhat little bit far. So that is why uh, whenever we are transferring the data from DC site to DR site, you may notice some performance issues. Agree? Because distance, sir. What is the distance between your DC site and DR site, and what is your network throughput? What is your network throughput? What is your storage throughput? Okay, network Mbps and storage throughput is also you need to consider sometimes whenever you are taking long time on DC. So that's what yesterday I told you, right? We have servers in on-premises, we have servers in AWS. Okay, whenever I used to copy, it is taking longer time when you compare with on-prem to on-prem. So that is network, or that is the bandwidth. Okay, so what is the distance between your DC site and DR site? Okay, yes, clear, sir. Now, so what is the next innovation? So everyone came up with a concept called virtualization. Okay, so what is virtualization? Everyone knows about the VMware. VMware, right? Everyone knows about the VMware, or you can go for Oracle VirtualBox, okay, or you can go for hypervisor, which is a Windows feature. Okay, from Windows Server 2012 onwards, Microsoft came up with the hypervisor. Okay, so no need to install any third party like VMware or Oracle VirtualBox to build the servers. So on with the hypervisor, you can build the servers. So what is the virtualization means? You are going to purchase a huge server, sir. So you are going to purchase a physical huge server which contains lot of core processors, RAM and IO and disk. You are going to purchase on top of this computer, on top of this CPU. You are going to use any third party tool, or any like a Microsoft tool like a hypervisor, or VMware or Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, and you are going to build multiple operating systems, and you are going to build multiple VMs. So these all VMs, technically you need to call it as a virtual machines. That is not physical machine, sir. That is a virtual machine. If something happened to this hardware, entire your virtual machines will be down. Will you agree or not? Everyone, will
Yes,
you
right,
agree or
sir.
not? Yes. So
Yes.
because you are going to purchase a huge server, on top of that CPU, you are going to build the multiple operating systems. So that can be Windows operating system, that can be Mac operating system, that can be Linux operating system, any flavor, sir. Okay, you are going to create multiple virtual machines with help of hypervisor. So that is the next innovation where we came up with a different. Okay, instead of so when you go for in real world also, you will see the dedicated servers. You will lot of most of the time you will see the virtual servers, virtual machines. Okay, very rare case you will see the dedicated servers. Okay, so whenever you are having some performance issue, okay, not only you are working with the virtual machine, you need to ask your storage team, you need to ask your Windows team, okay, where this virtual machine is hosted, what is the status of this server, physical server. If it is this server is also will impact the performance of our virtual machines. Will you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that is the next innovation, sir. Okay, so what is the next so innovation came up with industry is nothing but shipping containers. You can ship the container, sir. Okay, it is a container which contains the data center. Again, it is a data center only, sir, which is more secured, sir. Okay, no need to worry, it's more secured. It contains the servers, it contains the storage, it contains the network, everything, sir. You can ship the containers from one location to another location easily. Okay, data centers in a shipping containers. So that is the next level of innovations where they came up with you can ship your data centers from one location to another location. Okay, so these are the physical data centers, whatever we discussed, right? These are the physical data center. It's very challenging to us to ship these data centers, but these are the like easily you can ship the containers, right? Yes or no? Easily you can ship your data
Yes, sir.
centers. Yes, that is the one innovation, sir. Okay, and let me till now any questions, online people, where we are standing now?
Yes,
Okay,
sir. This Divya. Sir,
yeah,
I have a doubt on
yes.
virtualization. So Hyper-V and VMware is both are same?
Both are same hypervisors. Both are same only. VMware is a separate tool, a separate vendor for us. Okay, with the
Okay.
help of
Okay.
VMware, you can build your virtual machines using Oracle VirtualBox. You can build the virtual machines. On top of that virtual machine, you can keep whatever operating system you want. On top of that operating system, whatever application you want, you can keep. But completely, these virtual machines will rely on this physical box. If something happened to this physical box, all these VMs will be down. Agree?
Okay.
Make a sense,
Subbu,
everyone? Yes.
Subbu, you mean to say hypervisor or Oracle one is a software, am I right?
Yes. Tools. So even VMware a lot of requirement is also available. Okay. Now, now, sir. Okay. Let me play video. Okay. Let me know once everyone able to hear the audio. Everyone able to hear?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Audio device. Now, everyone?
Still very low.
Sound is very low.
Yeah, I can increase. Now?
Was to show that we can make it in a
Somehow okay.
manufacturable
Okay.
production scale.
Okay. Yeah.
The overarching goal of Project Natick is to evaluate the feasibility of underwater data centers. Phase one was just to be able to figure out, can we get computers into a container and can we deploy them in the water without it leaking, and do the computers survive and how well do they last? Phase two was to show that we can make it in a manufacturable production. The container behind me, it fits on a trailer, it fits on a cargo ship, and it allows us to actually build up this data center to any size that we want. Orkney is a great place for this partnership because they've got renewable energy for 100% and more of their grid power. Computers are not designed to work in the environment that we humans operate. So things like oxygen, moisture in the air, that is really bad.
Yes. So what exactly they're telling means, okay, data centers under water, because whatever the computers we are hosting on over the land, traditional, okay, that may having lot of failures, or when you compare with the data centers which are underwater, because underwater the oxygen level will be very low. The oxygen is good for human beings, but oxygen is too worse for the computers. Got it, online people? Online people?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yep. Yes.
For computers, it causes corrosion on the components. You also get temperature fluctuations. So heat from night to day and summer to winter can cause those components to fail. And so we have this theory that if we're in a really stable environment, we're in this cylinder, we've taken all the oxygen out, we've controlled the humidity, no one's walking around, there's nobody bumping things or causing any additional on land that are using the same components, we see 1/8 the failure rate in the ocean data center than we do on land.
Yeah, 1/8 of failure you can see with the failure of the whenever you compare with the data centers over the land and data centers over the water. Very less failures when you compare with the data centers over the land.
Good data on reliability. We've proven out that we can do this whole deployment process. Now let's finish the story and let's show that we can do the retrieval and we can do the recycling once it does reach end of life, and make sure that that entire cycle is possible. This project gives us the ability to feel like we're working not just on computers, not just on data centers, but on sort of moving forward environmental responsibility as a company and as individuals. I mean, everybody uses the cloud. Everybody needs data centers. This need isn't going to go away. We're going to continue to build larger data centers and use more electricity because the demand is there and the demand keeps growing. But how can we do it that's better for the environment and that's just better for us as a people?
Yep. It's clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So that is the one of the innovation. Okay. So when you compare with the data center which are hosted over the traditional, okay, you can see 1/8 of failover when you compare the data center which are hosted on the under the sea, under the water, because under the water the oxygen level will be very low. Oxygen is not good for computers. Oxygen is good for human beings, and the more power management as well. So over the land you need to maintain the more power to maintain your data centers, but under the sea the power consumption is also very low, sir. The cost is very low. Okay. Usually so based on their, okay, they can recycle everything. They can bring again the container to the top of the sea, or the water, and they can recycle the container again. They can place the containers, okay, back to the water in once a yearly, or 6 months, so they can do as per their needs. Hope you understood, everyone. Yeah. Now, throughout the global, okay, throughout the global we have data centers. When you go to the Azure, when you go to AWS, when you go to Google Cloud, we have data centers throughout the global. Even in India also we have the data centers. When you go for Azure, we have 3 data centers, sir. When you go for AWS, we have one data center. When you go for GCP, there is no data center in India, sir, for GCP. Okay. So when you go for Azure, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Chennai, we have 3 data centers. Now they've been increased one more data center. I hope. Let me go to Google and search for build Azure map. Okay, so when you search here, there is a one blog called map-cds.buildazure.com. So this is the one site where you can see a complete information about where your data centers are, Azure data centers are maintaining. Okay, so when you zoom in, oh my god, when you zoom in, so lot of data centers. So now we are having 4 data centers. Now we are having four data. We are having 4 data centers. One is in Chennai, okay. One is in Bangalore. One is in Mumbai. One is in Delhi. Okay, 4 data centers. Now they are going to maintain 4 data centers when you go for, so each mostly around 60 plus regions where Microsoft is hosting their own data centers, sir. You can use whatever the data center you wanted to keep your applications or servers or something else. So whenever you are going to deploy your applications or your servers or your resources, make sure that under which data center, under which region I need to deploy my resources. Hope you understand, sir. It's common for AWS, is common for GCP as well, sir. Whenever you are deploying any services, any resources, where I need to deploy, under which reason I need to deploy, make a note, sir. Okay, online people, hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So every cloud provider, they are maintaining a different data centers in different locations. Okay. So which is nearest location, a boundary for your location, so you can deploy your services in nearest locations, sir. If your complete application in US, you will deploy all the services in US. If so there is an application, all the business transaction they are going to perform in US, but reporting they are performing from India. So half of the servers they will host it on US. So whatever the servers mainly for the business transaction purpose they will host on US, and whatever the servers are reporting purpose they will host on the India. Because whenever they are pulling the reports, the if the region is so far, okay, you may also see the performance issues, sir. To avoid this, they will keep all our reporting servers under the in nearest location. So where your application team is working, where your developers are working, where your end users are connecting, a lot of end users. So based on that, they are going to deploy the services on respect to region or location. Okay, hope you understand.
Sir,
Yes,
hello.
yes.
How many region as well has over the world, total region?
60 plus. They are keep on
Over the
growing,
world,
sir,
right? Not only India, over the world, right?
over the world. 60 regions, and that's what region is nothing but a country, sir,
Okay,
a place. Yeah,
okay.
60 like Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, okay, Dubai, Gulf countries, okay, US, California, Virginia, okay, east to west to west. See, a lot of California, okay, Dallas, Houston, okay, so Virginia. So a lot of when you go for Europe, okay, Paris, Budapest, okay, a lot of countries. So
Sir, in
where Microsoft is maintaining its own data centers.
India,
Yes,
which place, sir? In India?
in India, Mumbai, Chennai,
Okay.
Pune. Okay, but now they are switching, or they are changing to Bangalore location in Delhi. So they are enhancing one more. They are placing one more data center in Delhi. So earlier we used to maintain 3 data centers. Here also see we have 3 data centers in this image. But
Yes.
when you go to this, so we are having 4 data centers. Okay, so earlier this data center is not in Bangalore. This is in Pune. Maybe they switched to Bangalore location. So we have in Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Delhi, 4 data centers.
Oh, thank
Nearest fully designed, sir, means we have the data centers, but that is not fully designed. Couple of services not compatible with these data centers. Again, that is one of the challenge.
Means under
Couple of
review, right?
services. Yeah. So whenever we are doing practice, whenever you are going to do practical, sir, mostly you can choose the Singapore location. That is well designed data center. Okay. Hope you understand. All the services, mostly all the around 300 plus services are Microsoft is supporting. Mostly all the 300 plus services will be compatible in Singapore data center because it is well designed. But still, a couple of services are not compatible in India when you go for India. Okay. That's it. Okay,
Yes,
sir.
right.
Yep, done. Okay, next. Why modernize by moving to the cloud? Why the industry is looking for cloud? So want to increase the productivity and decrease the cost. So because cloud is enhancing very draftly, sir, very quickly, very fastly. Okay. So cloud is is the applications are up to date, database services are up to date, but still when you go to the on premises, still our applications are 2000, sir. When you go to the SQL, still couple of applications are running with the SQL 2000. 2005, 2008, 2008 R2. But cloud is drastically increasing, sir. Widely developing. So widely developing, sir, and to reduce the cost. Mostly why we are moving to the cloud is to reduce the cost. Data centers is too costly and too complex to manage when you go for on premises. Hosting solutions is high maintenance. Okay, so that is completely reducing when you go to the cloud. So you no need to maintain the data center, you no need to maintain the power, nothing, sir. Everything will be maintained by your cloud provider. You can use whatever the services you want, and you can remove the services if you don't want. So use, so like a simple, I will show you one is simple image so that you can compare very easily, sir, what is cloud computing, what is your on premises. Okay, yep. Now we are on the page. What is cloud computing, sir? Till now whatever we discuss is a base concept, okay, where we are standing currently, why industry is moving to the cloud. Okay, so what is the data centers, what is the virtualization, what is high availability, what is the DR, and so what are the data centers under the land, over the water, we discussed, right? Now what is cloud computing? Okay, very simple definition. Okay, cloud computing is delivering on demand compute services from application to storage and processing power, typically over the internet and on a pay as you go basis. Okay, nothing, sir. A cloud computing is nothing but the companies which are offering services, a computer as a service, hardware as a service, software as a service, okay, internet as a service, firewall as a service, databases as a service. Okay, so as a service, everything as a service, sir. Everything as a service. Like so now whatever, whenever you go for e-commerce applications like a Flipkart, Amazon, you are purchasing laptops, you are purchasing mobiles, smartphones, you are purchasing groceries, you are purchasing home allowances, kitchen items, right? Like same, you are purchasing some items, right? Like same, your cloud computing also selling the compute services, selling network services, selling storage services, okay, selling database services, selling applications and services. Okay, like you can purchase the compute, you can purchase the network, you can purchase the storage, and you can purchase the applications, like a water or electricity bill. Whatever water bill you are paying, whatever the electricity bill you are paying, right? Like same, you need to pay how much you are utilizing on each services. You need to pay, sir. No need to pay for entire your building. Assume you are in one apartment, okay, which contains 10 floors. Will you pay only for your building, or you will pay only for your apartment, or you are going to pay entire for your complete building, power bill and water bill, only your individual flat, right?
Yes.
Yes or no? Like same, when you go for cloud computing also, you need to pay what you are using, sir, how much you are using. Either it can be servers, either it can be network, either it can be storage, either it can be a database management system, either it can be anything else, sir. Okay, just you need to pay how much you are using. Okay, the companies offers these compute service, technically we are calling it as a cloud providers. So they are going to charge, so they charge for the cloud computing service based on the usage. How much you are using, you need to pay only for that usage, sir. You no need to pay any additional charges. Okay, so if you are using the server, you need to just pay how many hours you are going to use the server, how many hours you are maintaining the server. So no need to pay for so maintain the power supply where your server is hosted. No need to pay all this additional stuff, sir. Just what is the hardware you are using, pay only for that hardware. No need to worry about the physical. So physical is completely maintained by your cloud provider. You are reducing the cost. Okay, hope you understand, sir. Online people.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, got
Yep. Now, so when you go to the deployment model, sir, okay, so whenever you are going to deploy your services, okay, that can be database, that can be compute, that can be network, that can be storage, okay, whenever you are going to deploy your resources or your services or your database or your application, what are the deployment models are available? Private, public, hybrid. Mostly, sir, these three. Mostly three, sir. Okay, so private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud. Okay, one more is community cloud. We'll discuss that in a while. Let me first discuss these three deployment models: private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. Sir, private cloud is nothing but it's like a on premises. It's like a on premises, sir. Okay, more secured services. Okay, only firewalled. Okay, it's like on premises. Private cloud is a single tenant environment. Single tenant environment means I am using, so IBM using private cloud, Infosys using private cloud, so TCS using private cloud, its own private cloud, sir. So that private cloud no one can access. Means whatever the services you are going to deploy in that private cloud, no one can access. Only within that network people can access, because that is a single tenant. Take your, whenever who are already working, take your personal websites in IBM or Infosys or TCS. So assume you wanted to apply the timesheet, or you wanted to make some leaves, you are wanted to apply the comp off, or you wanted to apply the leaves, you will open your internal portals, right? Yes or no? You will open your internal portal, right? Can you open that portal outside your network? No. Yes or no?
no, we
Calling people.
cannot.
Yeah, that is private, sir. So that is private. Okay, so private cloud is nothing but single tenant environment, meaning the organizations will use, sir. Okay, does not share the resources with any other users. These resources are not shareable. No one can access. Okay, if you wanted to access these resources, if you want to do something with these resources, you should be part of this network. If you're not part of this network, nothing you can do. Okay, hope you understand.
Sir,
Make a
Oracle
sense,
has
sir?
on private now, sir. Oracle.
Sorry.
Oracle has on private on cloud, right?
Own cloud, sir, that's what. Okay,
Yeah.
so every provider, they are providing their own private clouds. Okay, for the each tenant nothing but each organization.
No, what I was saying is Oracle's comes under the private cloud only, right? Like the IBM and Infosys.
Huh, that's what. Okay, so not only, sir, technically I am telling, right, mostly we know that, okay, I have Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, GCP Cloud. Okay, but they are a couple of their own designed private clouds. They won't design private clouds, sir. They will host their application in their private clouds. Okay, hope you understand.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Okay, so private clouds is a data center setup managed by the organization, keeping its security conquered. Okay, all managed by their respective organization. So private clouds can be expensive. Again, I make a note, sir. Private clouds are more expensive because more firewalls are more secured. Private clouds are, private clouds can be expensive when you compare with public clouds, when you compare with hybrid clouds. So private clouds are bit expensive, sir. Okay, mostly we never suggest private clouds for the medium scale applications, critical applications. Okay, so enhanced applications, mostly we'll suggest to go for the private clouds. For this medium scale applications, small scale applications, we never suggest so private clouds, because it is expensive and your application is not getting that much of amount. Okay, then whatever the amount you are getting every each complete your amount you need to pay to the your cloud provider. Make a sense, sir? Everyone, so private clouds are driven by the conquer around the securities and complaints and keep the assets within the firewall. Within the firewall. So more secured compute services, sir, when you go for private, and expensive as well when you compare with the public cloud. Okay, it's clear. Yep. Make it, everyone make a silent is I'm accepting. Okay, now public cloud. So a service provider make the resources such as application storage available to the general purpose over the internet. Over the internet, sir. Gmail is a public cloud. Teams is the public cloud. Okay, Salesforce is a public cloud. Our music system, like what is that? What are the music's apps are available, sir? All are public clouds. They are keeping the data in the
Ghana.
public cloud. Ghana music.
All
Okay,
about
yes. Those are the public clouds, sir. Best example. Okay, everyone can access the Gmail, right? Whenever you create a Gmail, by default you will get the 15 GB workspace. Yes or no? Every Gmail you will get the 15 GB workspace, sir. Don't simply create the Gmail, sir. If you're not using, go and delete the Gmail. You are saving some storage to the Microsofts. Okay, simply what we are going to do, we are going to create the n number of Gmails. One people can maintain multiple Gmail accounts. Every account, so Microsoft is going to maintain 15 GB storage for user. So you are accessing the storage, you are accessing the application, you are storing your data over the public. Will you agree or not, sir? Online people. So that is the best example for the public cloud, sir. So service provider make your resources such as application storage available for the general public over the internet. You can access it. So public cloud will provide the best economic of scaling or the inexpensive to set up the, because hardware, software, application and the backend bandwidth cost will be covered by the provider. You no need to worry about your Gmail applications, sir. You no need to worry about the Gmail storage. So everything is going to maintain by your provider. You are just simply downloading your Gmail application over iPhone or smartphone. You are creating the account. You are using the account. You are going to store your data. That can be personal. That can be something else. Yes or no? Online people. Yes. Okay, so no wasted resource because you are paying for what you are using. Okay, so whatever you are using, you are going to pay only for that one, sir. Beyond the 15 GB, sir, I wanted to you increase my Google Drive capacity beyond the 15 GB, then you need to pay amount for Microsoft. Accept? Not accept. So that is public cloud, sir. Okay, yeah. Any questions, online people? Okay, no questions. Yes, sir. Public versus private. Okay, as I told you, right, when you go for private cloud, bit expensive and it may also take more time, sir, because you need to request, that request need to be approval, and manually you need to allocation, manual installation, and it need to be complete. Okay, private cloud is something different, it will work, sir, when you compare with the public cloud. Public cloud is like a request, provision, implement, complete. Very quickly, very shortly, you can get your applications apps over the public cloud when you compare with the private cloud as well. Private cloud is nothing but almost it's similar to the on premises. Almost similar to the on premises. Private clouds. More secure, more firewalls. Okay, more process again. If you want to do anything, so you need to follow some process. But for public cloud, so no, sir. Request. There will be approval as well. Provision, implement, then complete the request. Within short time, you can get your resources when you go for public clouds. When you go for public clouds. And so we have one more cloud that is nothing but hybrid cloud. When you go for hybrid cloud is nothing but a combination of private cloud and public cloud. Hybrid is nothing but a combination of private cloud and public cloud. Sir, your applications are hosted in public cloud. Your data is hosted on the private cloud. Will you agree or not? Sir, everyone understandable? Sir,
Yes, yes.
hybrid is nothing but a combination of private and public. Okay, your applications are hosted on public, like Gmail, Teams, okay, Skype is hosted on public. And whatever, whenever you are creating account, so whatever the data you are hosting on your Gmail, okay, that will be in the private cloud. So they are going to secure your data, they are going to protect your data. That is nothing but hybrid cloud, sir. Hybrid cloud is nothing but combination of your private and public cloud. Okay, hope you understand, sir. Okay, now only we have three deployment models: private, public, and hybrid. So I displayed one more, right? So over the screen, community cloud, sir. So even when you go for when you go for so Hyderabad or Bangalore, there will be community flats. Okay, so 10 people or 20 people will come together, and they will start investing something, and they will work together, right? Like same here also, multiple organization will come together, and they will start deploying their services, and they will start selling the services. They will become something called as a brokers when you go for communities. Will you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So community cloud. Okay, only four deployment models. But whatever I am telling right now, this concept, don't tell to anyone, sir, interviewer or something. It's for just for your knowledge purpose. Okay.
Sir?
Green cloud. Y- Sorry.
Yeah, one question about the hybrid
Yes.
cloud. So can I, yeah.
Yes.
In hybrid cloud, so you are saying like it's a mixture of private and the public, right? So we can
Yes.
use the on-premises data as well as the cloud data, right? In the hybrid cloud,
Yes. Yes. Two different data centers.
two different data.
Two different sites. You can call it as a, not a data centers. You can call it as a two different sites. Like
Okay,
so
we have the
like
on-premises data and the cloud
on
data.
premises, or Google Cloud, or GCP or AWS or something.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
And sir, one more cloud deployment, sir, that is green cloud. Okay, private cloud,
So,
public cloud.
so,
Yes,
could
yes.
you explain community cloud one more time?
A community cloud is nothing but, sir, when you go to the Hyderabad or somewhere, community flats are available, right? 5 to 6 people will come together, and they will start deploying one thing, and they will start working on that, right? Like same, IBM is coming, IBM, Infosys, or TCS. They will, three organization will come together, and they will start designing one application, and they will start selling their products. So IBM will sell the product, TCS will sell the product, even your Infosys will sell this product. So whoever selling the product, they can earn the money. Means they will become somewhat like a call as a brokers. Got it? Again, same concept, only this, the naming is different,
Yeah,
sir.
got.
Same concept, only the naming. That's what. So community cloud. Okay, everyone is understandable. Now one more cloud, green cloud. Green cloud, sir, greenery. So when you go to the, so when you like not now, sir, even now also, so Bangalore is a greenery city. Will you agree or not? Yes. Like same, there is a green cloud, no wastage of resources, sir. Okay, so green cloud is nothing but no wastage of your resources. How much you want, you are going to deploy the same. You don't want, you are not deploying more or you are not deploying less. How much you want, you are going to deploy. No wastage of resources. So that someone may also call it as, if someone is telling where our services are available, means they can also tell us our services are available in green cloud. Okay. Nothing, sir. Naming is okay, green cloud, but technically we can call it as a no wastage of resources, our understanding point of green clouds. Okay. Okay, sir. Green cloud.
Yes.
Yes. Next, quantum cloud. Okay. So maybe in future, maybe next couple of years, definitely you will see the quantum computes. Quantum computes. A lot of storage, sir. Quantum computes is nothing but contains lot of storage. Okay. So quantum computers, if your application is going to store lot of data, maintaining lot of data, then instead of going for private or public or community or hybrid, you can go for the quantum computes, which contains lot of storage capacity. Contains lot of storage capacity, sir. Quantum computes. Quantum cloud. Okay. Green cloud, community cloud, and one more is government cloud. So whatever the government applications, right? Aadhar card, PAN card. Okay. Lot of government applications, right? So all that government applications, they cannot move outside the India, outside US, outside UK. So they are going to maintain within India with different data centers. That is more expensive than all, sir. Government clouds are more expensive than all the cloud provider, all the cloud deployments, because more secured, more firewalls. Okay. So where all our government related data, they will maintain in the government clouds. Okay. Okay, sir. Online people, hope you understand.
Yes.
Any questions, sir? Okay. Silence, make no questions. Okay, let me show you one video, sir. Okay.
Let's talk clouds. No, not those clouds. I'm talking about cloud computing. Like, what are clouds? What makes them better than computing BC, that's before clouds? What are the major types of clouds? And how might you best use each?
So as I told you, we have three cloud deployments. One is private, one is public, one is hybrid. Hybrid is nothing but combination of private and public. Agree, sir? Everyone?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Type based on your needs. Let's start with what a cloud is. All clouds are data center.
Yeah, all the clouds are data centers. Very simple definition, sir. All the clouds are data centers. That's it. A massive data center. See?
Or multiple data centers made up of compute and storage resources connected by a network. But what makes a data center a cloud is that all of those resources are virtualized into one big giant shared pool of resources, which can be intelligently and automatically orchestrated. And that means it can adapt to meet the ever-changing needs of your apps and the ever-changing utilization and availability of each resource. That's why clouds are awesome. Today's clouds are smart, automated, and adaptive. Apps can be deployed far more quickly without custom provisioning boxes. And once deployed, those apps can dynamically scale on demand. Resource issues like congestion or failure can be resolved automatically. Quite simply, clouds can be more efficient and cost-effective than traditional data centers. So let's take a closer look at each type of cloud and which type might be the best for your needs. We'll start with public clouds. They're what most people think of when they talk about the cloud. What makes them public is that they are hosted by a cloud service provider who rents space on the cloud to their many customers or tenants. Those tenants generally only pay for services clouds let you offload management where you don't mind giving up some control. That's why they're a popular choice for hosting everyday apps like email, customer relationship management, HR, and other business support apps. Private clouds are next. They're private because they only have one tenant. You get all the goodness of a cloud, but you can control and customize it to fit your needs. And that control is why many companies are migrating their data centers to private clouds to run core business apps that provide unique competitive advantages like research, manufacturing, supply chain management, and more. Finally, there are hybrid cloud environments. They're hybrid because they're a combo of both public and private clouds. You get all the benefits of both and more, like the ability to create new, innovative apps with uncertain demand. Apps you can deploy on your private cloud, which can burst to the public cloud during demand spikes. So there you go. Just remember, there are several types of clouds, and businesses are tending to use each type of cloud based on their service delivery needs. But we've obviously only scratched the surface. We can give you a lot more info and details if you're interested. Just visit the Intel.
Okay, got it. Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now, service models. So we discussed about the deployment models. We are going to discuss the service models, sir. Okay, so when you go to the service models, okay, let me open a notepad for better idea. Okay, so when you go to the service models, so IaaS, okay, SaaS, PaaS. So three service models are available, mostly widely used. Okay, so most of the people knows about these service models like IaaS, SaaS, PaaS, infrastructure as a service, software as a service, a platform as a service. Okay, we'll discuss, sir, what is that IaaS and SaaS and PaaS, what are the services are available. Okay, we are going to discuss the same. Okay, so when you go to the service model, before I go and discuss about the cloud service model, let me discuss on-premises service model, sir. When you go for on-premises service model, okay, network, storage, servers, virtualizations, OS, middleware, runtime, data, applications, everything you need to manage, means we need to manage, sir. When you go to the on premises, everything we need to maintain, everything we need to maintain the network, storage, servers, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, data, applications, everything we need to maintain when you go for on premises, when you go for traditional the service model. But when you go for a cloud service model, when you go for cloud service models, so we have different. So IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Okay, so when you go to the infrastructure as a service, so network, storage, servers, virtualizations will be maintained by your cloud provider. So network will be maintained by your cloud provider. Storage will be maintained by your cloud provider. Servers will be maintained by cloud provider. Virtualization will be maintained by cloud provider. So you no need to worry, sir, about all this. So where you need to worry? What kind of operating system I need to deploy? What kind of operating system? What kind of middleware? What is runtime application? What is data? What kind of data I can store? What kind of application I can host in that server? That is completely under our control. When you go to the infrastructure as a service, storage, servers, virtualization, network will be maintained by your cloud provider. You no need to worry about anything. So now you may ask one question, sir, what are the applications will comes into the IaaS? What are the services will comes into the IaaS, sir? VM, virtual machines will come into the IaaS. Okay, network will come into the IaaS. Storage will come into the IaaS, sir. So these are the main services will comes into the infrastructure as a service. Your computers, okay, sir, in Azure you are calling it as a virtual machine. In Azure you will call it as a virtual machine. Okay, in AWS you will call it as a EC2 instance. Sir, virtual machine only, sir, one VM only. In Azure you are calling it as a virtual machine. In AWS you will call it as a EC2 instance. In Google Cloud also you will call it as a virtual machines only. Okay, so and network, when you go for network, sir, so when you go for network, let me, sir, getting, sir, in IaaS, infrastructure as a service, computers will be maintained by your cloud providers, network will be maintained by your cloud providers, storage will be maintained by your cloud providers, sir. You no need to worry. On top of this, what operating system, what runtimes, what middlewares you are going to, you can use whatever you want, sir. But virtual machines, storages, network will be maintained by your cloud providers. In Azure you are calling it as a virtual machines. In AWS you are calling it as a EC2 instance. Okay, so when you go here, when you come to the network, sir, okay, so in Azure you will call it as a virtual network, sorry, virtual network. Okay, in AWS you will call it as a VPC, virtual private connection. So in AWS you will call it as a VPC, sir. Okay, when you go to the storage, when you go to the storage part, in Azure you are calling it as a storage account, storage account. Okay, in AWS you will call it as a S3 buckets, S3 buckets, S3 buckets. Okay, in Google Cloud also you will call it as a buckets. So the naming is different. Again, I'm telling, right? So in Azure you are calling it as a virtual machines. In AWS you will call it as a EC2 instance. In Azure you are calling it as a virtual network. In AWS you are calling it as a VPC, VPCs. Okay. In Azure you are calling it as a storage account. In AWS you are calling it as a S3 buckets. But all these services will comes into the IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Hope you understand, sir. Online people.
VPC means,
Yes.
Sorry.
VPC means
It's a server. Technically, you are calling it as a EC2 instance, but it is a server only.
VPC, virtual
Oh,
protocol.
virtual private connections, VPC networks. In AWS, you will call it as a VPC, sir. In Azure, you will call it as a virtual networks. Clear? Not clear? Online people?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Now, when you go to the PaaS, platform as a service, network, storage, servers, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime will be maintained by your cloud provider. You can just focus on your application and data. You can just focus on your application data, sir. You no need to worry about what operating system Microsoft is maintaining, what kind of operating system AWS is maintaining. Okay, what kind of storage is maintaining, what kind of networks is maintaining. Everything will be controlled by your cloud provider. You can just focus on your data and application when you go for a platform as a service. So what are the services? We'll call it as a platform as a service, sir. What services we'll call it as a platform as a service? In Azure SQL database is a platform as a service. Azure Yammer is a platform service. Okay, and AWS RDS is a platform as a service. Okay, GCP SQL is a platform as a service. Okay, so these are all will comes into the platform as a service. Means you can just access the SQL servers, or apart from you cannot access the infrastructure. When you go to the platform as a service, you don't have any control on the operating system. Means you cannot access operating system. You cannot access operating systems. So directly you can access SQL and you can work with your databases and your data. You cannot access, you don't have any control on your operating system when you go for platform as a service. Azure SQL database, Azure MI, Azure Cosmos DB, Amazon Aurora, okay, Azure Synonyms, Azure database, Azure Analytics, Azure Data Warehouse, Azure Active Directory. These are all will come to the platform as a service. So we don't have to maintain, we don't worry, we don't need to worry about infrastructure as a, infrastructure. We can directly focus on our application and data. Getting Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Synonyms, Azure Analytics, all this as a platform as a service, sir. Okay, not okay, sir? Everyone?
So you mean to say in AWS SQL is nothing but GCP SQL
RDS.
and
RDS.
what about GCP SQL?
It's a GCP SQL, sir. In that you can deploy Portuguese SQL, MySQL, everything, sir. This is a service. This is a service. This is a service, sir. Okay, in Azure we have a lot of services. In AWS we will call it RDS. AWS RDS. Relational Database Service. In that RDS you can deploy Portuguese SQL, MySQL, SQL, Oracle, everything. Is a service.
What is Azure?
That you can. Sorry, managed instance. MI
Okay.
is a managed instance, sir. It's similar to RDS. So AWS came up with a concept called RDS. Okay, Microsoft lately implemented a concept called MI. It's like similar to RDS. Similar to RDS, sir. It's similar to on-premises. Azure MI, AWS RDS are similar to on-premises, like a lift and shift mechanism. And it's a bit costly service, sir. Azure MI. Okay, you cannot deploy with a free trial subscription. It's costly. You need to purchase the subscription. Clear? Not clear, sir? Platform as a service?
Sir, one question, sir.
Yes.
So once we have the free trial of the Azure, what servicing model they are providing us in that free trial? Like IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS? Which one?
All are providing, sir. Okay, but there are limitations. So Microsoft came up with one. I'm not sure why Microsoft came up with one silly limitation. 4 cores. 4 cores means maximum you can use 4 core under free trial subscription. Means maximum if you are deploying a virtual mission, each virtual mission you are going for 1 core, maximum you can deploy 4 virtual missions. But in AWS you can deploy n number of. In GCP you can deploy n number of, sir.
Under free subscription?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So in future you will cover this Azure MI also.
No.
At
Azure
least,
MI is costly. Actually, I will share the videos. I will share the recording two recording videos which covered all the things. Okay. I will share that videos. You can go to that videos.
Okay.
So it's costly, sir, because student psychology. If I am charging more amount, oh, you are charging more amount. I in Google, in Facebook, in YouTube, I am getting 10,000. Then see the concept, sir. That's it.
Subbu, anyway,
Initially,
you
sorry.
share the videos. Can you at least 10 minutes or 20 minutes? Can you free for Azure MI at that time?
Yeah. I will explain, sir. I will explain MI, but I will share the videos. I am not showing the live sessions. That's it.
Okay. Okay. At least you will explain it. Right?
Yeah,
Thanks.
because basically when I started Azure training, okay, I came up with Azure MI, but cost. Every student is disappointing. Okay, I thought, okay, chalo, why I need to take risk, sir? Then you will see lot of limitations. Subbu, you are right. I can give some amount. Please teach MI after complete our course. Definitely, sir. That is what. Okay, feel okay, something. Okay, yeah, leave it. No worries. Okay, that is up to sir. Up to you, sir. Everyone is seeing amount. I am seeing the subject. That's it. Sir, only for Azure, there someone is charging 25,000. Only for Azure, they're charging 25,000. But simply in Google, in social media, they are telling every 15 days they're making one batch. I am not sure how they are making 15 days one batch. I need to learn from them, sir. Seriously. So you are spending a lot of 1 month, right? You people, Vardhan, Vishnu, we are struggling a lot to complete one concept in one day, right? Yes or no? I am not sure how they are completing in 15 days, sir. Seriously.
Yeah, even I am wondering how they are complete.
Seriously. So that's what it's basically student psychology. I personally, I make them first. I will explain everything clearly. If you want to do subject, you need to give some amount to me. But they tell, okay, I don't want. Okay, no worries. Again, for me, at least 3 sessions has been reduced. Okay, I was happy. I can go for 3 days sleep. Okay,
Uh,
that's it,
uh,
sir. My mentality.
so
Yes,
this is
someone is.
course is covered only for Azure SQL only, not for Azure Managed Instance. Only is cover for Azure SQL.
Managed instance, yes, sir. I can compare, okay, and I will share
Okay.
you the complete video. You can get it, sir. Whatever I am teaching in the live sessions, you are not getting, but MI you will get it in the video form. Okay, no worries, Ram.
So major difference is there in Managed Instance in the I hope is most
Major,
of the things
major. It's like a lift and shift mechanism.
yeah, like Azure Managed Instance is like a on-premises service. Most of the things are covered
Exactly,
in the
exactly.
on-premises. Like
Exactly. We are going to, I will show you in that 2 videos. You will get how to migrate to managed instance, how to configure application, how to take the backups, how to grant the permissions, how to deploy the jobs. All this you are going to cover in that 2 videos. Means
mhm.
almost you are getting complete MI, sir, but not a live sessions. You are getting in the
Okay,
form of videos.
but that's fine. That's okay. We can manage. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, not okay. If everyone
Okay.
is okay, if you give me some amount, definitely I can purchase the subscription. If you are, that is up to your point, sir. Then I can go for live sessions. Okay. Yep, that's it. Because to deploy MI itself, it will take 5 hours for us, sir. To deploy one MI instance, 5 hours we need to spend. Even one of my colleague created MI and Azure synonyms. He just left for 1 or 2 days. Microsoft charges 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs. Yesterday I called him and he's telling he's Anna, what they will do my organization. 6 lakhs they are charged. I told him, why you keep all this? Okay, once you do practice, just go and remove. That's it, sir. Okay.
I
Once
agree.
you do
That
practice, go and remove it. Take more time, right? Why you need to make the services runnable, sir? Runnable Microsoft charge like this. Okay, please.
In other way, it is very risky also, cloud.
Definitely, sir. So that's what. Okay, seriously. Yesterday only I called to one of he's with me for six almost my entire career. We both on my started like 5 years a journey with me and he will take the sessions for you as well over always on configuration. He was expert in always on configuration, expert in reporting services. He's going to take the sessions. Okay. I was also shocked yesterday because I left the organization. Now I was working in different organization. Okay, he's working in the same organization. Okay, now anyhow, okay, sir, back to our session. So that's what why the MI is not teaching me. That is one thing, sir. Okay, I not ask too much of amount of our student, but I ask only less, but still they are refused. Okay, no worries, no problem for me. Okay,
Sir,
SAS. Yes.
So whenever we're done with our services, we need to stop it immediately, right? Otherwise,
Yeah, definitely. I will guide you, sir. Okay, no worries. Until unless I tell you to create the Azure account, please don't create the Azure account, sir. Please, sir. And once I will tell, okay, now you are good to create Azure account, you can go and create the account. Until my so I will tell you when you need to create the Azure account. Don't create the Azure account because so whenever you create the free trial, that is only for 30 days. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will explain you when you need to create. Let me wait for my response, sir. Okay. No worries. Everyone, my that is my small request for everyone. For your sake only, sir. It's not for my sake. Okay.
Yeah.
That is for yours only. Yep. Sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
agree.
Next, software as a service. When you go for a software as a service, everything will be maintained by Microsoft. So everything will be maintained by your cloud provider. You no need to worry. You can directly go and use it. What is software as a service? What are the services, sir? Teams is a software as a service.
Power BI,
Email, sorry, yeah. Power BI,
Power BI,
Power BI, software as a service. Salesforce,
Gmail.
software as a service. Okay, software as a service. This all will comes into the software as a service. Sir. Okay, Teams, Power BI, Salesforce, Gmail, all this will comes into the software as a service. When you go for AWS, Lambda, AWS Lambda is a software as a services.
Salesforce
Okay.
is nothing but a ticketing tool, no? This is
No, no,
Salesforce.
no, 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 no. It's like a different, sir. I just forget what is that the
similar to
concept.
CRM, right?
Yes, CRM.
Dynamic
Yes, right.
CRM, right?
Yes,
Almost.
yes. Customer management service. Customer Salesforce. They will work with mostly. They will work with flows designed by C++. More complex, sir. But more market when you go for outside India. Outside India, there is very good market for Salesforce. Sir.
Because I'm using
Okay.
the Salesforce for the ticketing tool purpose, and that's things I have little bit doubts. So apart from
Okay.
that, what's
Maybe, sir. Maybe. I am not that much. Okay.
okay?
So these are all services models, sir. As everyone knows, sir. SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. These are the three service model. Whenever you are trying to explain, also you need to explain these things, sir. So only these three service models are available, or anything else beyond? Okay, sir. Let me DB as a service, sir. Azure SQL database, Azure MI, Azure SQL database, Azure MI, Azure Cosmos DB. That you can call it as a platform as a service, or you can call it as a database as a service, sir. Hope you understand, sir. DB as a service is nothing.
So you are in mute, I think.
Voice
Your
is not
voice is
coming.
your
Oh,
voice
sorry,
is
sorry,
not
sorry.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Sir, DB as a service is nothing but databases as a service, sir. Okay, Azure SQL database, Azure MI, RDS, GCP SQL. You can also call it as a platform as a service. You can also call it as a database as a service, sir. Okay, because mostly you are dealing with the databases, right? So you can also call it as a database as a service. Okay, so clear, sir? Hope you understand. So clear, sir? DR as a service. Okay. So DR as a service. Disaster recovery as a service. Okay. Disaster recovery as a service, sir. Nothing but we have one service, Recovery Vault. Recovery Vault is a service, sir. One service which comes into the DR as a service. Means using Recovery Vault, you can take entire VM snapshot. You can take entire VM snapshot, sir. You can take the snapshot of your storage. If something goes wrong, I can recover with the help of this snapshot, whatever you taken with the recovery vault. Most expensive service. Okay, DR as a service. Now, I uh, AAC, IAAC is a sir. Because whenever I am teaching only, I will explain all this service. IAC, not EAC, AC. Okay, AC, sir. Okay, infrastructure as a code. Okay, let me make it as a AAC only. Okay, infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure as a code, sir, like Python, 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 or language. Okay, YAML program. Okay, all this will comes into the infrastructure as a code. So Python, R language, YAML program. Okay, so all this will comes into the infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure as a code. Database as a service, DR as a service, infrastructure as a code, and last but not least, I A A sorry not T sorry I A A X. I hope this is the one thing. Okay, let me 1 second, sir. Let me verify. IAX. Oh, sorry, not this one. XAAS, sir. Sorry, I am so sorry. XAAS, not IAX. Okay, XAAS. Anything as a service. Okay, so anything as a service, sir. This is also one model is available. Service model. XAAS. Anything as a service. Okay, so this is still in the implementation. I'm not sure much about the service, sir, but this is also one service model. Hope you understand, sir. Most of the people know about these three, but we are beyond that one. We are learning something new. Database as a service, disaster recovery as a service, infrastructure as a service, infrastructure as a code, and anything as a service, sir. Okay,
Subbu,
these are all.
I have one doubt.
Yes.
I have one query.
Yeah.
The recovery vault is part of in platform as a service, or disaster. This is a separate
No,
service.
no, no, sir, no, sir. See, basically, mainly we have three only. Okay, mainly we have three. Okay, IAS, PAS, SAS.
Pass.
Okay, but you can also call recovery
Okay.
vault as a DR as a service.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
That's it. Hope you understand, Ram.
Yes, Subbu. Okay. Now I got it. Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Okay. Any questions? Service models. Okay. Only last slide, sir. Okay. What is the difference between traditional and cloud computing? When you see this picture, you will be more clear and more understandable, sir. Yep, sir. Buying a car is on premises, but going for rental is cloud computing, sir. So when you wanted to purchase a car, so money is upfront, that is up to your mark, sir. Road tax you need to pay, ownership, maintenance cost, insurance cost, driver cost. Means if you don't know the driving, you will again start recruiting the driver, right? Driver cost, fuel cost, repair, everything you need to bear when you go for traditional. When you go for traditional, everything we need to maintain, sir. We need to bear. But when you go for cloud computing, nothing but rental, sir. Like Ola, Uber. Okay, we have a lot, right? Yes or no? So money as per usage. Money as per usage. No other charges. You are not paying road tax. You are not paying maintenance cost. You are not paying insurance cost. You are not paying driver cost. You are not paying fuel cost. You are not paying repair cost. Sir, will you paying all this whenever you go for Ola or Uber? Anyone? No, right?
No.
Money is affordable, sir. How much? So what is the car you are? Sir, either you can go for a dedicated car, either you can go for shared car, or you can upgrade your car type as well, right? Okay, 4-seater, 2-seater, 4-seater, 6 seaters. So you can upgrade your cars as well. So that kind of facilities are available when you go for a cloud computing, sir. So means you are reducing the cost. Majorly, what finally I'm telling means cost, sir. Okay, cost cutting. So why industry is looking for cloud means cost cutting, sir. Hope you understand. So
Yes.
that's it.
Yes, of
That's it,
course,
sir.
sir.
Today, like complete about deployment models, service models. What is cloud computing? What is difference between cloud and traditional? Uh, so that is what today we discuss complete. Any questions before we stop the recording? Anyone? Divya, Kamal, Mastan, Narsimha, Rahim, Ram, Sai. Sai, you joined. Okay. Suresh, Vardhan, Vishnu.
Yeah, no, Subbu, we are
Yes,
good.
fine.
Very clear.
Fine. Okay. Let me stop the recording.